The elites use taste as a way to keep you out, and here's how it works. In a previous video, I touched on the 4 different kinds of capital coined by French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu. This is the follow-up you've been waiting for, and trust me, you do not want to miss out on this. In his most famous book, Distinction, he conducts a
Uh-huh.
forensic study on French society in the 1960s. And after surveying thousands of people on their preferences toward things like food, music, furniture, art, and leisure, he found something particularly damning. He determined that every aesthetic choice corresponded to a class position. The working class preferred substance over form, wanting hearty, filling food, functional
Wait,
furniture.
this one's kind of interesting because when he says that, I think of Japan, where it's like it's high class. Like you cannot argue that Japan is not a first world country, bro. Like the fucking meme is Japan. Japan is living in 2050, like they're 50 years ahead, right? But they prefer function over everything. They have this work suit or like jumpsuit, I don't know what it is, where it has a fan that can like suck in the air to keep you cool. And it looks stupid, but it fucking works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these guys living in 2050 have got like this function over form shit. I mean, the form is still there. Japan is like famous for form and all that bullshit, but the function is also there. So it's like, yeah, when he says like, the working class is like function and all that shit, it kind of sounds bad. It's like, oh, you guys are just like one dimensional, but it's like, nah. Cause like, watch what he says about the rich people, bro.
The middle class aspired upward, mimicking elite taste but always getting it slightly wrong. He called the middle class the petite bourgeoisie, which is truly a topic that deserves its own video, so follow if you want to see that. And then we have the upper class, who prized aesthetic distance. They valued abstraction and irony, purity or art for art's sake, and they'd often scorn the popular as
You
vulgar.
see what I'm
Now, how
saying,
does this
bro?
play out?
It's like we say, yeah, they prefer like art for art's sake, but at the end of the day, it's like when you are so fucking rich that getting shit that works as intended, function of a formula, that stuff. Like you could get like 1,000 of those things in your house, in your mega mansion. So I mean, at that point, yeah, no shit, you're just gonna look for other things to, like put your mind to. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as, in my opinion, he didn't say this. This is me saying this because I'm Einstein. He's not saying that like rich people don't care about function. I mean, they care about that shit way more than anybody else. That's why they're fucking rich. They already got the function out the gate, bro. But yeah, it's the fucking midwits in the fucking middle. The middle class. There's this graph. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a really popular one, where it shows basically like people's intelligence. It's like on the left at the bottom of. It's like a curve. They call it a Brill curve, right? At the far left and the bottom, there's the retards, and then the top of the Brill curve. That's what the middle people are. The people who they are retards, but they like to think they're smart, and they're just so confused about themselves. And then at the far right, like on the other bottom of the bell curve, that's where like there's the really smart people, but they just don't give a fuck. They're smart like that, you know. They're humble smart, or whatever you want to call it. The middle class, the way he explains it, not just in this video, but in all the other ones, it's like these guys are trying to be rich so hard, but they keep getting it wrong. His own words, not even mine, bro. I'm not the one hating on you. Okay, we're lyric on some Somalian shit. We're leering today.
Oh, let me paint you a picture. You're at a dinner party, and around you are a bunch of educated, affluent people. Someone mentions they just got back from Puglia. Another person says, oh, we visited Puglia in 2019. Stayed in a masseria outside of Ostuni. Remarkable. Someone else says, we almost went there, but ended up in Basilicata instead. Less discovered, the Lucanian tradition is extraordinary. Now, no one has said anything explicitly exclusionary, but if you heard all of that and you don't know what a masseria is, if you don't know
That's what I'm
why less
saying,
discovered
bro.
is a
When I said we're leering today, like with Somalians, see, I'm Einstein, bro. When I say that shit, if you don't know about it, you just probably like move on, like you won't get the joke. But if you get the joke, then shit, I guess we can be friends or something. Like that. When you was talking about this, I was thinking like, man, I don't give a fuck. But then that's like me. It's like I don't know where on the book. I think I'll put myself in the retard part. It's like, am I really that smart? No. Okay. Oh shit! I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm like a genius. Like I know algebra inside and out my booty hole and stuff, but I wouldn't say I'm a midwit either. I fucking hate being in that area. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? When I heard about this, it's like, nah. Why the hell would I even bother? Some people try to, and that's the middle class. Is why would you do that to yourself? You know, like with the whole. I think it's always been inside of me. I don't know when it started. It's always been inside of me. I don't know when it started, but I've known with fashion. Like I've always found it weird how like broke people will always be buying like designer type shit. Like it's not. It's nice to look at. It's nice to wear. You know, you can make it look tasteful in your fashion sense, whatever, right? But it's like, at some point, it's like, really, nigga? Like, you know, this shit was meant to be expensive, right? Like, I couldn't seem. I mean, I could wear a Louis Vuitton belt, right? I wouldn't buy myself one, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, if it was just there, I had no clothes, I would put that shit on. I'm not really thinking about it. I'll just put that shit on because, like, I need something on me. I can't walk out with my dick out. But would I buy that? Nah. I'll just get my plain shirt, plain jeans, coat, move on with my day. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with this. It's like, would I really care about like Puglia and mozzarella or whatever the fuck you're talking about? No. Unless I actually want. That's what I was saying in the beginning. It's like, do what you want to do, man. Like, unless you actually go to that shit without even trying, like, you just want to enjoy that type of lifestyle, why would you even bother yourself trying to learn all this shit? It's just a waste of your time, man. Like, you only have one life and you want to waste it. Going to Puglia just so you can say you went to Puglia. Like, no, bro.
Status marker, then you've just been labeled as an outsider. The conversation was a series of micro tests, and if you don't pass them,
Huh.
you're gently, invisibly excluded. You can stay at the table, but you're not really in the conversation. This is what Bourdieu means when he calls taste a weapon the elite use to maintain boundaries. Now, Bourdieu spent his entire career trying to demystify the concept of taste as a game the elites use to exclude. What was once hidden in plain sight has now been brought to life, and once you're able to see the game, you decide how to proceed. How do you play, or do you play at all? What you can't do is pretend the game doesn't exist. Now, there is so much more to cover from his work, and I promise I'm gonna get to it all. So if you want to be the first to know, like and follow, and let me know in the comments what you think. The elite gatekeep differently than everyone else, and its implications are a lot more insidious than you'd think. In a previous video, I talked about how the elite use taste to keep you out, and in that video, I used a particular example at a dinner party where guests were talking about visiting Puglia. And one criticism that I got was that this kind of gatekeeping happens in every social circle, which is true. But where the difference lies is in the stakes. We're also going to address today why these games matter. Sure, gaming has casuals versus hardcore. Car guys.
It fucking makes sense. It's like with gaming and shit. Like, if I'm gonna get into like a specific game, like let's say Project Zomboid, I remember when I started, people were having like it's like little slang what they have. For example, in zombies in Project Zomboid, they're not called zombies. We call them Zeds, right? And when we're referring to like certain locations of the map, let's say Rosewood, Louisville, we don't say the full thing. We just say RW when we're typing, or LV instead of Louisville. So you see what I'm saying? It's like I had to learn that shit. It's confusing, and there's a whole lot more. It's not even doesn't even end there, right? But it's the same with every game. There's always like little shit that you gotta learn. So it's like if you want to be a part of that culture, fit the fuck in. Okay? I know what I said before. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to fit into this bullshit. It's like, yeah, I'm not. You won't see me at the dinner party for this shit. You won't see me there, bro, because I'm not trying to fit into that shit. So for everyone who's like, ah, man, it's not fair. It's like, no, you just don't want to acknowledge that this is a game to be played, right? Play the game or don't play the game.
Guys talk about car parts and models like it's another language. Every group develops insider knowledge as a boundary marker. This is human, and this is how communities form identity. But the sleight of hand in those responses is that it flattens context. When a gamer sneers at you for not knowing a particular game, you're excluded from a Discord server, maybe you're mocked in the comments, you can just leave the entire subculture entirely. But when the elite use taste to exclude, say you're at a business dinner, you don't know where Puglia is, what a masseria is. Also at dinner is the manager you're up against for promotion. They're talking about golf and biodynamic wines and summer plans to visit the Alentejo, while you feel largely left out of the conversation. Maybe you're better on paper, But it doesn't matter, you get passed up for the promotion. But no one says we didn't promote you because you've never been to Puglia. Instead they say not the right cultural fit or lacks executive presence. But what they mean is that you don't have the embodied habitus of someone who grew up around travel and dinner party fluency. You're not one of them, so why would they ever take care of you? The stakes go from slightly annoying in the gaming case to career defining and generationally consequential. It's also not just one gate, but a matrix of gates that all reinforce each other on the path to generational wealth. The same people who debate summering in Puglia versus Basilicata also know the right boarding schools, the right volunteer experiences for Ivy League admissions. The colleague who gets the promotion over you, 5 years later they make partner. Now they earn $800,000 a year and their kids go to elite private schools. They grow up skiing in Aspen, learn to sail and ride horses, and attend dinners where adults talk about wine, art, and architecture. By the time these kids enter the job market, they have the entire cultural toolkit pre-installed. Meanwhile, you stay in your role and you make a good salary of $120,000 a year. But you can't afford private school for your kids. They don't learn the leisure activities of the elite. And when they enter the job market, they're 20 years behind on cultural capital. And the cycle repeats itself in a process Bourdieu calls social reproduction, which is a topic that I'm definitely going to touch on in a future video, so if you want that, please like and follow. At the end of the day, Bourdieu was writing for the everyman, not the elite. And his implicit message was to show you the machinery behind the system and give you the tools for you to decide how to move within it. Thanks for watching and let me know your thoughts in the comments.